Hi there, everyone. Today is Monday. It is March 3rd, 2025, and you are here with Robin at In the Family Way Coaching. We are here for our daily Bible reading. We are reading through the entire Bible in 1 year, and we are using the Day by Day Kids Bible that's been written by Karen Henley. And if you have your calendar, it's time to take our calendar out. And if you have your sticker ready or some other way to mark it off, get that ready too, because you're about to read the Bible today. If you are new here and you do not yet have a calendar and you are interested in the calendar for keeping track of your daily commitment and your daily achievement for reading the Bible with us, then I'd like to encourage you to head over to my site at www.inthefamilywaycoaching.com, and I have March's calendar there on the page of Read the Bible in 1 year. And that is a free download for you. The calendar is helpful for encouraging you to join me every day, and it's just a little bit of a motivational tool. And it's nice to see when it's marked off that what you've achieved, what you've accomplished. And it's a little bit motivating. So thank you for being here with me, whether you are following along on video or whether you are listening on your favorite podcasting app. Thank you so much for being here. I am sorry that this is once again a very late posting. We were finishing up the brake job that I talked about yesterday that we were doing on my car, my husband and me. And then we just barely finished in time for me to quickly get ready and eat and leave to go to work. And then I worked until 8 o'clock tonight, hurried home, and now I'm sitting here getting my recording done for the day for everybody. So thank you for listening, whether you are listening today or whether you are listening tomorrow on the 4th. Thank you for being here. We are reading in the book of 1 Samuel at the moment, and we are reading about David and Jonathan and Saul. David and Jonathan are really good friends, and we're going to see their friendship in action today. And we will see also King Saul, who is still after David, because remember, he is jealous of him. And we're going to see some more jealousy of King Saul in our reading tonight. So we are reading chapter 20 today, 1 Samuel chapter 20. And it's entitled The Arrow. David went to find Jonathan. "What did I do?" David asked Jonathan. "How did I hurt your father? Why is he trying to kill me?" "He will never kill you," said Jonathan. "You won't die. See, my father always tells me what he's going to do. So why would he keep this a secret? He would tell me." David said, "Your father knows we're friends, and he knows it would hurt you if you knew. I'm sure I'm just a moment away from death." "I'll do whatever you want," said Jonathan. "There's a new moon tomorrow," said David. "That's when I'm supposed to eat with the king. But I'll hide in the field instead, and your father might miss me. So tell him I had to go home, and if he says, 'Oh, that's all right,' then I'm safe. But if he gets angry, I'm in trouble. And that means he wants to hurt me." David went on. "Now, who will tell me if your father gets mad?" "Let's go into the field," said Jonathan. So they went out into the field together. "I'll find out my father's plans," said Jonathan. "And if he's going to hurt you, I will let you know. Then you can get away and be safe. I pray that God will be with you, just like he was with my father. But be kind to me so I won't get killed, and be kind to my family too." Then David and Jonathan promised to be kind to each other. "No one will sit in your chair tomorrow," said Jonathan. "People will miss you. The day after tomorrow, hide by the big rock. I'll shoot 3 arrows to the side of the rock, and then I'll send a boy to go get them. I might say to the boy that the arrows are on this side, and that will mean you're safe. And you can come back. Or I might say to him that the arrows are far away, and that will mean you should leave. But remember, we're friends forever." So David hid in the field, and the next day King Saul sat down to dinner. His place was by the wall, and Jonathan sat across from him. Abner sat by Saul, but no one sat in David's chair, and Saul didn't say anything about it. The next day came, and still no one sat in David's chair. Saul asked Jonathan, "Why isn't David here? He didn't come yesterday or today." "Oh, he had to go home," said Jonathan. Then Saul got angry with Jonathan. "You son of a sinner," he said. "I know you're on David's side, but you'll never be king as long as he's alive. Now bring him here. He has to die." "Why?" asked Jonathan. "What did he do?" Saul became angry and threw his spear at Jonathan. He tried to kill him. So Jonathan was sure that his father planned to kill David. Jonathan was very angry. He left the table. He wouldn't eat anything. And he was sad about the way his father treated David. The next day, Jonathan went to the field, and a little boy went with him. "Go find the arrows I shoot," said Jonathan. So the boy ran. Jonathan shot an arrow into the field. The boy ran to where it landed. Jonathan called, "The arrow is far away. It is past you." Then he called, "Hurry and go fast. Don't stop." The boy picked up the arrow and ran back to Jonathan. He didn't know this was a message for David. Jonathan gave his bow and arrows to the boy. "Take these back to town," he said. So the boy left, and then David came out from behind the big rock. He bowed 3 times to Jonathan, and he put his face to the ground. Then David and Jonathan hugged each other. They both cried, but David cried the most. "Go in peace," said Jonathan. "We've promised to be friends. God knows about our promise." So David left, and then Jonathan went back home. And that's the end of our reading today. They are really good friends, aren't they, David and Jonathan? They are lucky that God sent them for each other, aren't they? And we see Saul is very jealous of David. And he says that Jonathan will never be king with David around. So now we know that that Saul is aware that Jonathan is not going to be king because David has been promised to be the next king. And Samuel told Saul that this was God's decision, and he knew, just in the same way that God chose him, God had chosen a new person to be king. And he's trying to interfere with God's plan. And so God has sent Jonathan to be David's friend. And Jonathan is being a wonderful friend. He is standing up for David. He's saying good things about David. He's trying to talk his father out of trying to hurt David. And he's trying his best to keep David safe. He is a very good friend. And they have promised to be kind to each other. So that's our daily application today, is that when we have friends, that we also stand up for our friends when needed, even if it's somebody close to us that is trying to hurt our friend. It's not likely that we're going to have a parent trying to kill our friend. But sometimes somebody in our family, like a brother or a sister, might not be very kind to one of our friends, and we need to stand up and take care of our friend. And remember that God sends us friends in our life. That's just another way that God provides for us. Isn't He wonderful that He sends us friends in our life to be with us during our difficult times and our good times? And I pray that God sends everybody here a lifelong friend, the way that Jonathan and David have made their commitment to be friends forever. And that's all I have for us today. We have such a great example of friendship that we can look to in our own life. And I'd never thought about that before, but I think that that's just a wonderful example that God has given us. He even gives us examples of how to be a good friend and shows us that He puts people in our lives to be with us during our times. So thank you very much for listening today. I hope you've enjoyed today's reading. And I hope that whether you are watching or listening, that you have felt that God has lit your light today. And I would ask that you would click that like button. It might look like a thumbs up or it might look like a heart. But if you could click that, if you have the ability to do so in whichever way you are listening or watching, I would appreciate that. And consider subscribing to my channel or following wherever you are listening or watching along. I will see everybody again tomorrow, and I hope everybody has a great rest of their night today.